Hello, everybody. How are you doing tonight? So, second video today. How about that? It was interesting because so much started to come to me after we talked about releasing stress and obligation. And I have a great technique for Archangel Michael to work with you to release. So let me get the space cleared here. Okay. You know, I have a blue crystal ball that's connected to extraterrestrial beings. We actually have a stargate of them. And I wanted to let you see it for a moment because Archangel Michael is connected to the blue ray also. So let me see if my hands here are going to, wow, look at the light shift. The Andromedans, that's who it's connected to. And they're very powerful beings. And there was a man from Holland that had developed the Stargate that had the crystal balls. We're the only people that have the blue balls. Our Stargate is mostly all blue. And he showed us a picture. For those of you who've watched the show Stargate, this is very similar of what it will one day be, because he showed us as he reached his hand in to the center of the Stargate, he could have went on through. And there was an Andromedan that came through from the other side, and we saw its picture. Looked very human, kind of just without hair. So it was very validating for us that this is the real thing. And we understand now that it's dependent upon the geometrics that are placed under each sphere as to what level. It's usually about every year they give you a new set of geometrics to put under, but there will come a day when it will be like a real Stargate. How about that? So I thought about that and some real special things I wanted to share with you before I go into our technique for today. Someone had asked me, well, what are my favorite crystal stones? And you have to know, in the beginning of all this, I didn't care about crystals. I didn't get it. When I started going and spending 2 months every year at Shasta, I befriended this lady who her whole house was crystals. And how could you not, right? So my hand pocket stone is a Super 7. So here's mine. I know Violetta spoke about it, but mine's a little bit different. It's a twin and a little bit darker, but very powerful. And from my view, what a Super 7 does is when you're teaching, it keeps you very centered and grounded and very, very clear. It puts you into your mastery. So for those of you who have that level of work out there, you might want to make sure you get a Super 7. So I have a personal stone that is one of the first ones my friend gave me. Uh-oh. It's a crystal healer. And this, I've had it maybe 10 years, is aligned with me. As I grow, it grows. It can take me and center my energy in a moment. So may look big to a lot of you, but small crystals just don't do it for me anymore. And I'll show you in a minute what I work with. But this is when I sit and I'm quiet You can see it just happens to fit right in my hand. So now my working stone grew. And the first time I brought this home, it was more powerful than me. It just, now we work well together. It's a Lemurian crystal. Has lots of rainbows, all the tags or all the things she wrote on here. It's a key to something, another key here, rainbows. She has on here, it's for Theosophia. Has 8 faces. But I'm going to encourage you to let crystals speak to you. Maybe small ones at first. But as your light grows, which is all about what spiritual healing is about, the crystals you use will grow. And it'll get to where you don't feel that surge from it anymore. Time to step up. Realize how many times I'm saying step up today, huh? It's a process. That's what it's about. You can't run through it. You're going to take it step by step, and it'll work out. That's what I kind of have here in front of me. But that's the ones I work with. And as soon as I touch this, it's like another whole world opens to me. Not like a crazy place, but an understanding, a depth of wisdom, and a quick pace of receiving. Those of you who do healing understand what I'm saying. So I'm going to introduce you tonight to Archangel Michael before we do the technique that's with him. And I pulled his card. There you go. Red. And yet he wears lapis. He is of the ray of blue. The ray of blue is about to do, make a decision. So how many of you out there are not always easy to make decisions? Well, Michael, being part of the blue ray, which the blue ray with Hercules and Michael is about making decisions. And letting go of that hesitation, that fear, whatever it is for you. So tonight I'm going to the Ascended Master Teachings book, and I'm going to read you a discourse from Michael. No, I'm not going to try to do it on my own. Why, it's just right in front of me. So this that I'm reading is to the children of God. Let me see, papers moved. Okay, give me a minute. You know, Michael has his own army. My husband is a member of his healing. Yeah, you wouldn't think that it's a healing army, but it is. And he has many levels of angels and those who carry his sword that work with him in different ways. I can't believe I can't find this page now. I will have to remember to give me one moment. All right, it's about the pathway to God. And he says, beloved children of God, do you know how I love you? Can you feel the power of my dominion and devotion to your life? Knowing as I do from this octave, the limitations in which you are endeavoring to unfold your God plan? Yet in mercy, I must hold back the fullness of that love in order that your own light may expand and become your pathway back home. No man, no angel, nor God can make the path on which the Spirit arises except that one, because the path issues out of the heart flame of the individual. I am fortunate, however, in that cosmic law has allowed me to dwell within your heart flame. And so with every individual endeavor which you make to send forth the pathway to your freedom, I too send forth the life wave from my heart and widen that pathway by my love. If man could know that every step he takes through the journey of experience in the human octave, the journey of experience in the human octave and beyond the veil, is created and prepared by himself. Through the projection of his own energies, out of that primal substance of his own light, he would not so build so many cobblestone roads, but rather the soft green paths, where his feet would find comfort and ease and peace as he pursues his individual way. I've come to make your pathway easy, and as you are endeavoring to be a comforting presence in life, the essence of your own life, which pours out from your sweet hearts, will create for you a pathway of light. And my love will help to melt every stone and obstacle long before you come upon them. Remember that my life flame follows through your hearts can only flow when you make the initial impulse. Least I do for you that which you must do for yourself, to become a server in his kingdom. When I reach the side of a soul in distress, the love of my heart is a living stream of electronic energy, which is my shield and buckler. My ring pass not, so that I move into the world of shadow and am not of it. The love from my heart holds the soul imprisoned, silent, and in its own orbit, until I can weave from the substance and energy of my life the action of the flame that sets it free. The electronic light, responding to my thought, form, and the command of my feelings, becomes the action of the flame. Sword or spear or whatever the requirement may be, and the response of the electronic light to my command is the love in the universal light, substance to obey. The shadows of lust and passions that are the chains binding the soul and making it to writhe in agony. Close in the light of God, and at my command, that imprisoned life loves to respond and throw off the mantle of suffering and become again the energy of perfectly expressed harmony. For the soul loves to be free. You will see as you move forward, loving your opportunity and your service, how the hearts of men will love to respond to your endeavors to be a representative of the angelic host at this time. Thank you, Michael. So you may be saying to yourself, why am I reading that to you? I wanted you to hear his devotion to being there to help you, because we are going to call him in. And I wanted to see if possibly for some of you that could make his presence more real, more valid, more true, so you can begin to develop a faith in it, to know you are never alone. So we're going to kind of carry all this keeps going step by step in your belief system and in what I keep bringing to you. So I'll give you his picture one more time. There he is. And all his mastery. So I'm sure you're all aware of the 7 chakras. If you haven't been, write me and we will go through each one as a journey to know and to be able to learn how to heal them. But what happens when you're out into the world and moving, whether it's at your job or going to the grocery, you can have a tendency to what we call cord other people. A strand of energy goes and you connect into someone else, or they can come and cord to you. So how this would look if it happens, for an instance, is if all of a sudden you're being very emotional and you don't know what it's about, and you don't know why you're crying, and you don't know why your heart hurts. you need to stop and think about it. Have you been around someone today who maybe had that experience and they've courted you to get the beautiful light from your heart, but in that, the residue of what they're experiencing is moving through you? This is a period of time when people don't really know what's theirs and what isn't, because you're not aware of the hygiene, once again, we're talking about, of your energy field. So when we call out to Archangel Michael, I happen to call him Lord Michael. I see him above an archangel, but we're going to ask him to clear the cords or anything that isn't yours from each chakra. Now, during my journey, I was always surprised to hear how many people weren't aware there are chakras in the back. So it's not just chakras in the front, but the chakras in the back have just of an importance in your life as the ones in the front. So let's call in Archangel Michael. He'll come in either red or blue, and that seems to depend on more of what you are on your soul level. And ask him to take his sword. You can put your hand on it if you want to do it with him, and to cut the cords away from the root chakra, the front, and in the back. Yes, first chakra has only the connection at the root. Second chakra, there'll be a front and a back, and slowly go up. I don't want this to be, and people make this mistake, oh, Archangel Michael, clear my chakras. It doesn't work that way. It's a process for you to learn together with him, to learn frequency and to feel energy, and to know that it's really a cord that's there. You want to get to where you can touch your chakra, and are there any cords there? And the only way you're going to learn that is by working with the greatest master about it, is Michael. Because he knows with the cut of that sword, he's not cutting away you, he's cutting away someone else. Or you're reaching out because you felt needy. So there's a process here that if we move out now up into the third chakra, cutting those cords away, sit with the front, feel his sword go there. Was there some there? Is there some there? Is he letting them go? Where do they go? They usually go back to whom they belong to, and then in the back. Now, why is this important? Because that third chakra in the back is how you take care of yourself. And if you allowed someone else to come in there, you may have been vegetarian and start eating meat and you don't know why. I know. I do know. So, very, very important. All these situations take a willingness of you to know more about it than just the action of getting something away. Go to your heart. What is there at your heart? Are your feelings your own? Is there pain from another time, or is it someone else's pain? For those of you who tell me you're empathic, you want it to not be a weakness, to become a strength. Your strength in being empathic is understanding and being sensitive to the truth, not to be afraid of what is. It's learning how do you handle that energy? How do you not let it become and attach to you, but create a good boundary? So this is the beginning of that. By taking Michael's sword, working with him to cut away what isn't a definition of you. Either you've grabbed for that or someone's grabbed on you. And if you are a healer, at the end of your healing, you always want to bring back your caretaker cord. We have like a little Mickey Mouse hand that's white. I tell people, you need to put it back in your heart because you don't want to be connected to who you're working with when they leave. You shouldn't even have a thought about them. If you are, then something's connected. You're there to be a vessel for God. And let God handle that. And when you're done, you need to let go of everything. Not worry about them, What you have offered, they have the ability to take and work with it and do with it or not. That's not your concern. It's not part of the practitioner's purpose. The purpose of the practitioner is to offer the light from the purest vessel you can be. And that is your only responsibility as a healer. So I want you to think about that for a few days. It isn't about being in charge or maneuvering that. You want to allow it to be so. So we're at the throat. Let me tell you, the throat can hold on to a lot and speak out a lot. So we want to have it clear for all of you. What you're expressing, what you're holding in, and let to clear those cords. If you're around someone and you wish you say something and you don't, know you're available there for a cord either way. It needs to be where you can become just honest and speak freely. Things you don't want to bring up because you're afraid of the reaction, do it. You're going to end up doing it in a worse way down the road. It's learning that truth is the way. You ever heard that before? Truth is the way? Well, it is. And God always comes in to hold you if you've gotten to where you can let that be so. So then we have the third eye. Also, another part of you that can connect to a lot. Hopefully you're starting to feel another level of cleansing. And of course, the baxial point, which is, and I will always tell you, is the number one most important chakra you have. You won't be understanding that until you begin to work on your Adam-Kadam field. But it is the most important piece of you. And then certainly the crown. Whew. Yeah, let's let that go. So I'm going to sing for a moment to you to help finish the releasing of that. And technique number 3, 4, whatever it is. The cleansing of the cords through Michael. I'm going to call in the 14th ray. Shuffle. And there you do. Oh, the light is just so wonderful. I hope you can feel the light this day that is certainly demonstrating itself all around me. Let it come and be with you. And my favorite saying is we're going to grow. Growing will never end. In the beginning, you think, I only need to get here. And then when you get here, well, then maybe I'll go here. It's easier to just accept where you are, knowing we're going to grow, and step by step, allow it to take you. Questions? Make a comment? Discussion? Subscribe? Thumbs up? And I will see you soon. Many blessings.